Start our broadcast off early today, mainly because I have the day off and nothing better to do. Start today's broadcast off playing World of Tanks, and we're going to quickly evolve to War Thunder and Assassin's Creed. I'm downloading Red Dead Redemption, and it's going to require a 7-hour left on the download, so assuming that gets downloaded at some point today, we'll jump into that. And if necessary, we'll play Star Wars Battlefront 2. Today's broadcast is being recorded on the 2nd of November 2018. It's 11:54 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. We're broadcasting out of Tampa, Florida. Waiting on all the Twitch streamers that are attending BlizzCon this weekend. A couple of them were streaming last night, so just waiting for them to get started, but they're 4 hours behind us, so probably won't be till like 6 or 7 o'clock tonight that we see people streaming. So here we go. Let's get started. Been about over a week since we played World of Tanks, so gonna go through our normal procedures. Only there's an update there. The more I've been playing War Thunder, I kind of like it a little more than World of Tanks. It holds my interest more, mainly because of the realistic mode. And I kind of like the combined campaign aspect in the World War II. That what was called a combined campaign or total war. But the concept of total war actually goes back to the American Civil War. But combined campaign is where you have both the land, air, and sea, from a military point of view, all come together. And in War Thunder, I think they do it better in that when you're everything in a theater is there to support the ground people. Doesn't matter if you have air, naval units, all those assets are there to support whoever's on the ground and hopefully a success in their mission, whatever that is. So even like in the Navy's, whether there's a war going on, at least the U.S. Navy, that's the only thing I can speak as an expert on. But in the U.S. Navy, they're always forward deployed, whether it's peacetime or wartime. So from an operational point of view, they operate in 6 months period of time. But in reality, a 6-month deployment is a 8-month deployment because they leave a month early to relieve whoever is there, and then they in turn do the changeover. That takes a month because it takes a month to go over and back depending on wherever your deployment zone is, where we're deployed from, especially a carrier battle group. But the point is that the carrier battle group is there to support the Marines on the ground. They in turn support the Army, who's mainly a land force, and the Air Force, at least in modern time, mainly does the strategic aspect of the battle and to some level tactical aspects, which is close-in ground support. And the Navy's role is to get them to the beach, clear the beachhead, and then the Navy provides the supply logistics, because tanks need gas, fuel, machine parts, maintenance, all those things have to be shipped overseas, and the Navy supplies that function. And a carrier's main real function in the battle group is what they call the floating SIMA. It's the intermediate maintenance activity, which is basically the logistical support for maintenance. And that's its main function. Basically a warehouse that floats around on the ocean, and they fly the parts out there anywhere in the world. That's really what a carrier does in a battle group, other than dropping bombs on people. But its sole mission is to support the ground force. And that's why I like War Thunder. It has that total aspect. Although they don't really have infantry or the real ground units. They only really go down to the armor level. And in World War II, the armor was really there to support the infantry. It worked in tandem. So, and I think if this game ever developed the actual infantry part of the game, it would probably take on a better, more fundamental understanding for the game. Is the idea of the game is to present a realistic simulation of combat. I think it would behoove them to develop the ground aspect of the game, which is kind of why I like the naval stuff too, because they started you off at the what would be realistic in naval. If you go in a navy as an officer and you come out of whether you're someone who was at the academy in World War II, not a lot of the officers went to the academy. A lot of them were just someone got killed and they had a promotion right there on the battlefield. Just basically became an officer right there. They had what they call officer candidacy school, and people had already been to college, and so they just give them military training. But kind of lost my thought. Let's go on. But anyway. ADHD has kicked in. I kind of totally forgot what I was talking about. But I think it would be interesting to have Total War, the infantry part in the game, and I believe the Navy. Oh, what I was saying was the way they start you off in this game is pretty realistic for an officer. They're not going to start you off on a cruiser. You have to be like a seasoned officer for that kind of. They start you off on some little gunboat somewhere. If you successfully can use that, then they move you up to like a frigate. And a submarine, at least in World War II, was essentially a frigate. It goes under the water instead, as opposed to just a surface ship. And then you have a destroyer, and then cruisers. And then at that time they had battleships and aircraft carriers were the main. And eventually carriers overtook the battleships. At least for the U.S. Navy, that was the evolution. But I think this game does a really good job on the gunboat aspect of the game. That was pretty realistic. So here we go. As always, we'll start off with some stats. As of today, let's see. Soviet. Tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't think we have a tier 7 tank yet. Not yet, but we'll get one eventually. Then, here we go. I think I'm going to go ahead and move my image over. There we go. It's better. So, going over stats. Go to these. We have been in 586 battles so late. We participated in 273 victories, which is 47%, compared to the 586 battles. We've destroyed 176 enemies and survived 127 engagements with a 49% hit ratio. Remember, victories and defeats is a team stat. It's not an individual score, so that depends on a lot of factors that you don't have the ability to control, which is who your teammates are. Okay, so next is the Tier 1 MS1. It's a light tank. We've been in 134 battles of the 586 battles, and we've participated in 62 victories, and we survived 45 engagements, thus destroying 57 enemy tanks or vehicles. T-26, another light tank. We participated in 128 battles. We've participated in 59 victories, and we survived 32 battles and destroyed 50 enemy vehicles. T-46, we've been in 115 battles, 57 victories, survived 16 of those battles, and 21 enemies destroyed. The Tier 4 T-28, we have been in 101 battles, 49 victories, we survived 14 battles, and we've destroyed 13 enemy vehicles. KV-1, or Tier 5, we've been in 80 battles, 34 victories, we survived 13 engagements, and we've hit with a 56% hit ratio, and damage standing is 29.7. Tier 6 there, using the KV-2, we've been in 27 battles, 12 victories, we survived 7 engagements, and we destroyed 7 enemy tanks. 44% hit ratio and 21.7 damage standing. As always, let's go to the tech tree. On the PC version of this game, they call it a tech tree. This version, they do not call it the tech tree, but it's pretty much the same thing. We're following the heavy tank line, which is right here. Let's see, T-46, T-28, KV-1, and then I don't know if we're going to do the S-51. I'm still debating whether to do the T-150 or the KV-85. Basically the KV-1 with an 85mm gun. And then that moves us to this IS-M. And we might just continue on with the KV-3 and KV-4 series. So we'll see. But the one thing I've learned through War Thunder and the nomenclature for Soviet equipment is that the K and B don't really have any real bearing on the role of the tank. It's, I guess, the way that the communist system was broken down is you had what was a war bureau, military bureau. And within those you had different companies set up that would build the different vehicles. And within those companies, that's how they named the tank. So the K was whatever whatever company built it, was K and B, and then the 1S is the series, and I believe everything after the number has more to do with the engine that's there. The aircraft does that. It has more to do with the engine and the power plant of the system. So anyway, let's get on with it. Enough talk. MS1 isn't getting a bonus. Oh, it's getting a bonus day. What's these? That's a little star me. Some type of cell, I guess. Well, there we're at 462,000 bucks. 47,000 experience in the tank and growing. We're planning on growing our experience so when we get to the upper end of the tiers, we can sell back those experience and use it for more important things. I feel, in my opinion, that it's better to have the lower tanks and they're used to generate money to help pay for costs later on in the game. Same thing in World of Warships. I play aircraft carriers in World of Warships, and I think that it's best to use your smaller ships to pay for the larger ships. Especially when they're still being developed. Until you get your 18 skill points, and then the ship can pretty much function on its own, and then you start making a ton of money. Aircraft carriers, you don't really start making any real money until your captain gets to like its 11th or 12th skill point. That's when you start just knocking people out. At least in the way that carriers were. They've changed carriers, so now that you're flying from pretty much the planes perspective, which sucks. Because how a aircraft carrier has an advantage over other ships is because it's a non-linear style of combat. And what that means is a linear style of combat is like a serial, meaning when you have a battleship, it can only attack one target at a time, right? Which is usually the nearest target to it. Whatever the biggest threat is, it goes out and attacks that, and that's pretty much its plan. Or a destroyer is a linear type of combat system, right? Even a submarine is a linear style of combat. With the aircraft carrier in an air campaign, you have what's called a non-linear campaign, meaning it can hit multiple targets. It's not limited by terrain. You have a theater that it operates in, and you can hit multiple things at the same time. And part of what makes the carrier work is being the ability to hit multiple targets at the same time. Hello?
We've got enemies in the area. Take them down or capture their base.
So close. Ah. Crew XP. Why did we get crew XP? We lost. Fire. Yeah. Looks like they updated the badges. Okay. We were number one. Look at that. Took Yoda to take us down. That's normal. Yoda. He got lucky. He got lucky. That's the only reason why we got our butts kicked, is because it was Yoda. Looks like they cleaned up the graphics a little around the UI. I mean, the tanks have always looked great. But, cool. I'm a firm believer in the MS1 that 45mm gun it has is not like a speedy little gun. Like, it doesn't aim fast, but it has a hell of a lot of firepower. Especially at tier 1, it smashes through people. You saw it just wipe out those medium tanks. It did some damage. We had a little bit more armor, we'd knocked out that. We're on our way to knocking out that medium tank. We obliterated that other medium tank. The first hit, like, took his health out. Wow. Oh, we're on the other side. Hey.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
We've got enemies in the area, so take them down or send them to base. I see one. Locked and loaded. I see one of them. Got an enemy here. Loaded and ready. They're hit.
Vacilei legal, mano.
Optics are up.
Bora, galera, sai da toca, porra. Só tá todo mal, tava óbvio. Parado. Bora ver, pô.
Enemies are capturing our base. That one did some damage. Penetration. We finished him off. Loaded and ready. All our artillery has been destroyed. Gun loaded. Enemies looking right at us. Frag hit. You lost the frag.
He got lucky. 3 times. Did alright.
Let's go, go, go.
Except to that last guy.
Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Return to the base. Our base. That sucked.
Well, we had a pretty good day up until we died. Fire for event.
Look at that.
Badge. Targets 12 targets spotted. 3 enemies spotted. 4 damage, 1 destroyed.
The Bolsonaro.
2 critical hits. 185 damage, 222 assist.
Bolsonaro 2018.
Number 2.
Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro.
And we got 6,000 credit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets.
Bolsonaro.
That guy talking was an idiot. We're just gonna go on. A lot of young people nowadays are dumb. We're not gonna deal with them. We're gonna move on. One of the problems that you run into with playing people on the counter, there are a lot of dumb idiots. Just move on. Go to the next game. I don't know why this is prevalent in modern times, but this is the way it is. Like, dude lost at the end because he wasn't driving fast enough. You see the clock going down, and he's just lollygagging. Drive over there and shoot somebody, shit. You know? They got an alarm that tells you where the guy's at. What do you need to search? Why are you wasting your time on artillery? Go kill that guy, and then your artillery can't shoot you, right? Yeah, pretty simple. That's what happens when you sit around waiting for other people to kill everybody. You're the last one left. Oh, I gotta go shoot somebody. What do I do? What do I do?
Alright, men, we've got enemies in the area. We either have to take them all out or capture their base. Let's roll.
Exatamente.
Hmm. That could have been better.
Não é brasileiro, não.
We had the right idea, just wrong execution. Tier 1's proving to be stubborn this morning. But we have learned. We have learned. See those binocs when they kicked in, exposed that whole side? That was kind of nice. But we didn't have the gun depression to shoot that guy. Had to expose the tank. Actually, the MS1, the gun loads actually pretty fast. Compared to the KV1 and KV2, it's... thing loads choo-choo. That's a Speedy Gonzales. KV2, that thing loads super slow. This map again. This is not one of my favorite maps, but it's okay. Okay. It's pretty at night with the town on fire and bomb craters. And
Alright, men, we've got enemies in the area. You guys ready to take them all out or capture their base? Let's roll.
Right. Tier 1, everyone's got those little high rate of fire guns, and they're kind of annoying. But even though it was suicidal, we drew his fire out, and it allowed our people to advance. Always useful. That's the military way of doing it. Alright. This map again. Coming from the south again. This map loves us. I released her out of Tier 1. Hey.
All right, men, we've got enemies in the area. We either have to take them all out or capture their base. Let's roll. Enemy exposed. Camo net deployed. Enemy is hit. Enemy in sight. Enemy in their armor. Here's one. We're done for. Everyone out.
Enemy coming in from the east side. Hmm. Yay. Oh, at least we're out of tier 2. On to tier 3, yay. I was getting nervous back there. No one's going to clear the cap. They were just content with just sitting there and letting the clock run down. Basically, I hear a big siren going off, but I don't know what that means. Go kill the guy at the cap, man. I don't think I've been here, but this is the, like, they're like Chinese villages and stuff. Bunch of ridges. Encounter map, yeah.
Our mission is to capture and hold the marked objective. Let's do it.
trying to draw their fire. Surprisingly, most of our guys are still alive. It's weird. That turned out to be okay. Look at that. Seemed like where we were at was where all the fighting was at, and from that perspective, it seemed like the enemy was winning, but we slowly weed them down, and most of our forces were in the south. When they eventually got there, the enemy was all worn out. It was actually a pretty good fight. Yeah. this one to do. I want to look something up. Faster load time rate. So what's next? We need a gun rammer. Aiming speed 450,000. What we need is this enhanced gun lane drive. We need a. I'm not gonna buy it now with only 491,000 bucks, but once we get about 800, 900,000, we'll be buying that sucker. Improve the speed of the gun. How much is it for the are they all battle torn? It's Chinese, right? Flag of Vietnam. It's a Soviet tank, right? 250 bucks. $100,000. How much is the camouflage? $12,500. 7 days. We'll hold off on those. I just wanted to see how much that equipment was. And how far we had to go to get there. Ooh, we're not using any camouflage. My ultimate plan is to get all the tanks unlocked, slowly improve them all, and then get the crews trained up, and then you can eventually buy all those goodies. By that time we should have enough experience in the tank in terms of hours played and battle experience that we'll be able to take better advantage of all those fancy tools.
We have to take and hold the marked objective. Get to it.
the edge. Find a little hole right here. Spot.
Enemies in the base. Push them out. We've got enemies in the base. Take them out. Enemies looking right at us. One of our tracks is damaged. Enemies got us in their sights. Load it up. Let 'em rip. Bail out. This vehicle has had it.
We got one at least. The nitro. It's a good target. Look at all that. Our combat was short, but we nailed a big one. Someone's out there like, yeah. I was trying to kill that guy. Covert. Commander unlocked. What the? Did we unlock a command? Where is the guy? Rank 2. My guys are rank 2. Well, let's go on with them. Okay, everyone. Don't really understand what it was telling us. Other than the guys unlocked. But for what tank? Who? Where? How? When? What? Right. Guess we gotta go take the east.
Our mission is to capture and hold the marked objective. Let's do it. They've spotted us. There's one.
He's not shooting through that hill.
One of our gas tank brothers. Low on fuel. Got an enemy here.
Little tiger tank.
Right at
At least our people know where that tiger's at. right. Test. Worked out pretty good. Oh, we absorbed some damage. Most important, we provided valuable data to that side of the map. I'm gonna try an experiment. I want to see if I could mute my mic on mine so it mutes it to everybody else. Try an experiment. Can't do it till you get in the actual game, but let's see if it works. You have to bring the list up and scroll down. I don't know if my name will be on there. If it is, I'm going to see if I can mute myself. guys
Mission accomplished.
obliterated that tank destroyer. Like, gone. One hit. Smart. Yeah, we're up there, wait one. Two hits, two penetration. Obliterated. Obliterated. I don't care what anybody says, the KP2 is a fun tank. I skipped a guy with like low health and I went straight for the guy with maximum health and just wah! He was hiding. He was shooting at us. He didn't kill us, so erased him first. That was awesome. So I was staying back there to guard the artillery. That was my overall plan was defensive position. I think the KB2 plays better when you ambush people rather than go out and draw the enemy out of a hole. I think KB1's better for that. Although the KB2 drives really smooth, it's got a high pitch to it. At least in the game it does. Real pretty. Let's go look at its upgrade package here. Now we already did the 122mm thing, right? So this, we need research points, what we need for our, got enough for this one. See what's the difference between these. That's what we have, that's what we want. No real difference in that its survivability is 1 point higher and its spotting is a lot better, so let's what does this do? It improves the trank tread and it improves the housing unit for the turret. Let's go ahead and buy that. So we're set up for recon is what that is. Then we still got the same gun, but an improved engine. So this one's got a little more mobility. It's kind of nice. And then this one has crappy firepower. That one has lousy firepower. Look at that, 18. Definitely going for the 50 there. Can you tell I like firepower? Yes, I do. So we got the KV2, then I guess that's 1941 variant. That's what we're working on. So we need 5,000 points for that. So the next upgrade we get a better engine, the V5 engine. We still have a better gun. Now we got a, I guess, stronger ammo, which is only At one point must make a huge difference. And, I don't know how trucks allow for better spotting, but they do. This one improves mobility by 2. Look at that. Woo. Then this one's got S51. Let's go look at this. Look at that tank. Looks like it's got pretty much the same suspension, but a big gun on that sucker. Look at that. Only 152 millimeter. Same gun. Better track, better radio, better engine. Oh, look at that. 203. That looks good. That looks nice. Look at that. That's pretty. A pretty little gun there. Look at that. Yeah, 203 millimeter. What gun is this? SU-14. 52 and the 203 millimeter. Looks nice. I like that big 80 firepower. That's pretty. Tier 9 we get 203 millimeter. There we go. And then the object 261. Looks like there's only one thing for it. 180 millimeter gun. It's got a big engine. Look at that. That gun on that sucker, boy. Look at that. It's got a little power shovel on the back. I guess that's important for moving snow out of the way. Is this a heavy tank or a self-propelled gun? Looks like a self-propelled gun, right? Nice. Don't want to get hit by that. That's what that means. That's an artillery piece. Yeah. Let's go look at the tree. So we're gonna have to go use this crappy tank. Looks like it. Kinda looks like a KV-1, but with a smaller gun. Well, at that point you get the 122 millimeter gun, crappy 85 millimeter gun, and another crappy 85 millimeter gun. And by crappy I mean its firepower sucks. I'm not liking 33. You go from a 50, 50, 33, 33. KV3. Let's go look at the KV3. KV3 was never mass produced. It's got a different turret there. A little bit better gun there. Quickie Baby says the 85mm is a great gun. I don't believe it. His idea of a great gun and my idea of a great gun are two different things. Let's go look at the KV4. A little bit better. Look at that. Starts to get better. Looks like they sort of standardized your guns at 122mm. Go look at the tank tree here. This is where it intersects with the artillery piece. And we're pretty much going down the artillery line, but if you go the T-150 route, that keeps us in line with the tank route. So we'd have to go with the KV2 T-150. Looks like we got a good tank, a great tank, a crappy tank, and somewhat back to a decent tank with the KV3. And then if we want awesome gun, we have to go this route, and if we want a decent gun, we have to go this route. Which is basically a mixture of medium tank and artillery piece there. Looks like IS-4 and Object 277, because look, it intersects with the medium tree there. This is the true heavy tank right here, the IS-4, STY-1, and KV-4. All this is artillery pieces. I think when we get done doing the Soviet heavy tank line, we'll switch over to the tank destroyer line. A lot of people say it's not really all that fantastic, but might as well try it out. Or artillery, one or two. Alright, that's going to do it for World of Tanks today. We're going to go ahead and switch over to War Thunder next. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out the game, and we'll be right back.